obey my commands. In the event of a knockdown, the fighter standing will go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there. Protect yourself at all times, touch gloves. Seconds out.
8 rounds in the heavyweight division, and the latest chapter in the enigmatic career of Dereck Chisora. Things could have been different for him recently. The plan was that he would win the European title in Monaco last November against Kabayel, and then rematch against Dillian Whyte here in early February. But he didn't win that European title. He didn't turn in a good performance that night, underrated his opponent possibly. But he is still very much in the mix. A big fight, we believe, in the offing for him on May the 5th on the undercard of Bellew against Hay. Names have been mentioned. But tonight he needs to get the job done here.
He's got to be careful. He just nearly walked into one. I like the way he started. He started out aggressive. He started out on the front foot, which we've seen him in the past in these type of fights. He comes out and he wants to just go through the motions. We've had Don Charles on his back in previous fights, and this is more positive from Dereck Chisora here.
Azzouzi with a decent record. He's not come in the greatest of shape. I think it's fair to make that comment. He did actually used to be a cruiserweight earlier in his career, but that's a while ago now. He was on standby in Monaco in November because Kabayel had a slight injury scare for a while, so he would have been studying Chisora for a good few months here, Azzouzi. And Chisora just looking to try and get at him towards the neutral corner over on the far side of the ring.
Right hand just landed there from Chisora. Trying to work his way in off the jab and trying to land that big overhand right hand, which he always tries.
£250 tonight, Chisora, and that's a good sign because that was what he weighed when he had that barnstormer against Dillian Whyte back in December 2016. So he's already in pretty good shape, 6-7 weeks out from what we believe will be a big fight. Joe Joyce has been mentioned. They really want that fight, Joyce and David Hay. And Carlos Takam is another name that's been floated around. He was tight-lipped at the open workout on Wednesday. Fairly loose-lipped at one point, actually, but he wasn't saying a lot in terms of what opponents he might face.
Good body shot there from Chisora. Right hook and just glance past with the left hook to the head after it. I really like the speed, the pace and the speed at which Dereck Chisora's come out here. He means business tonight instead of going through the motions like we've seen previously. Those big fights, what you're seeing down the line, though, they're the ones which you can always make a fighter want to come out and have a good go in the fight previously, in the one beforehand, and they always want to sort of set out the stall. They know their opponent's going to be watching. They know they're going to have a big fight coming up, and it gets the appetite going for these type of fights. Good shot, good uppercut from Dereck Chisora there as well.
Good finish to the round here from Chisora. He's been nice and sharp, nice and busy.
Good man. How you feeling? Good. Let's enjoy this, but let's look good, baby. Come on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah? Good man.
Don Charles in the corner there with Dereck Chisora. Those two know each other really, really well. And a good start from Chisora.
It was a good start, and as I said, I'm really impressed with the pace that he's set. He's come out and he's wanted to just establish himself straight away, and he wants to win straight away and look good tonight.
Busy to the body there, Chisora, then looking for that right uppercut up the middle again. Azzouzi pushed back towards the ropes. He had a long spell out of the ring, but came back at heavyweight against Andras Somor, who Chisora stopped in 2 rounds. When those two met, that was in June. That fight for Azzouzi.
Twice Chisora's done that, 3 times now, and I really hope he gets that right hand over his own chin, because it's just unnecessary gambling with someone who's got nothing to lose whatsoever. Bit of stumble there from Azzouzi.
Did lose his balance slightly, but Williams just telling Chisora to keep that right hand up. Azzouzi has come to have a bit of a crack here, but Chisora looks like he's enjoying this, and attitude, motivation, mentality for Chisora, more than other fighters even, would always appear to be paramount. I mentioned Don Charles, and if anybody knows how to get him going, then it is the big man in the corner, but he's not a straightforward customer to deal with, Dereck Chisora. I think that's fair to say.
Very fair to say. I've seen fights in the past where I've seen Don Charles scream at him, you know, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. And Dereck Chisora took no notice whatsoever. They both seem in good moods tonight, and they both seem happy so far. It's a good body shot there. That hurt Azzouzi. I think the right hook to the body went in there. You can see him going again and trying to target the same spot again. You've seen a big gulp of air from Azzouzi.
Well, the gum shield has come out. I think Bob Williams will just get that rinsed off. He went to the body with the right hand and rammed that uppercut up the middle, and he's finding the gaps. And Azzouzi will appreciate the little bit of rest he gets here.
I think he done that on purpose. I think he just let that fall out, you know, accidentally on purpose, so he can get that little blow, and it'll do him a bit of good.
I went to the gym in Mill Hill last week to see Chisora and Frank Buglioni as well, and he was pretty fresh from sparring Lucas Brown. Chisora, they were up and down sessions by the sound of it, but Chisora's take on it was that Lucas Brown was dangerous for every second that he was in.
What a great shot
right there from Chisora, and that drops Azzouzi. Bob Williams is going over to count, but I don't think there's any real need to count here. He's unsteady on his legs, and the referee waves that over. Azzouzi did well to get back to his feet, give him credit for that, but he didn't really know where he was, and he still doesn't. They need to get him sat down, but that was a big, big bomb detonated there by Chisora. Chisora, who was on point and at it tonight, which, as discussed, he isn't always. Azzouzi was not in his class. There's no point pretending otherwise, but he's enjoying the adulation of the crowd here, Chisora, and he has got something much bigger just around the corner. The doctor just checking Azzouzi out, making sure that all is well with him. He's in that red corner right above us. Ian Johnson in there too, just wiping him down, but Chisora did what he needed to do there. You mentioned that in other fights sometimes he hasn't done that kind of job. Case in point, Liverpool back in September, last fight rather, before he had that European title fight. He was in with Robert Filipovic, and he just kind of messed about and then stopped him in the 5th round. And Don Charles was asking him exactly what he was playing at, because the longer it went on, the bigger risk he was taking. None of that tonight.
Exactly, not tonight. He came out tonight, you could tell, I think the first shot he threw was an overhand right hand, similar to the one which has just caused that damage. Jab to the chest, right hand over, perfect on the button. There's nothing you can do about that shot. And Azzouzi was never going to get up from it. He's hurt, he's got the oxygen on him now. Thankfully, he walked back to the corner, and hopefully he'll walk from the ring and be okay. But that was a big shot. You know, Dereck Chisora is not the biggest of heavyweights, but he was bigger than Azzouzi tonight, which says a lot about the weight that Azzouzi should be at. But them type of shots, that overhand right, I'm not sure I've ever seen Dereck Chisora throw many straight right hands. Every right hand he throws is a looping, overhand, chopping right hand like that. And if it lands, there's the effects of what will happen.
Well, the talk is Joe Joyce, May the 5th. It hasn't been made. Joyson is promoted David Hay, who of course tops that bill on pay-per-view against Tony Bellew, say that offers have been made that they feel are reasonable. Chisora doesn't agree. That's what he was saying during the week. He told us that if the money is right, then they can fight, but at the moment the money is not right. But that for me would be a fascinating fight, a massive step up for Joyce, who had a decorated amateur career and has looked good in his professional career so far. But that would be a bold, bold venture, getting in with the likes of Dereck Del Boy Chisora.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our referee, Mr. Bob Williams, will bring both boxers together. And before we go to the result, please, let's hear it for both our boxers in the ring. The official time, recorded by Brett Bowles, is 2 minutes and 12 seconds of round number 2. Referee Bob Williams reaches the count of 10. The winner by count out from Finchley, Dereck Chisora.
Chisora with the win. A win that he absolutely had to get, a win that he was very much expected to get. But you never know quite what you are going to get with him sometimes, but he looks like he is in shape. He looks like mentally he is in the right place for whatever does end up